Hello everyone. Today I will tell you what happened in the world on April 28. The river overflowed following heavy rainfall in Venezuela. The walls that control the flow of the channel collapsed, causing water to flow rapidly into agricultural land. Water flows have already reached residential areas. Many plantations are flooded, cattle are dying. According to local media, about 1,000 families were affected by the flood. The state governor reported maximum emergency preparedness. At least 9 people were killed in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo by rainstorms. 9 people have been killed and 9 more injured in the city since Monday due to the rampant rain. Heavy rains caused landslides and severe soil erosion. In Bukavu, a large number of buildings were damaged. Torrential rains also caused 11 deaths this week in neighboring Rwanda. Meteorological services warn that heavy rains in Rwanda and eastern Congo will continue until April 30. One person died as a result of storms in Chile, which struck the southern regions of the country. This is reported by the Department of Emergencies of the Chilean Interior Ministry. It is reported that a power line pole fell on the car of a man in the region of Araucania, knocked down by a tree torn from the ground. The man died of his injuries. Also in the regions of Araucania, Biobío and Nubile, 143 homes were damaged by bad weather. In addition, roads were blocked in 6 regions due to flooding and falling trees. According to preliminary reports, dozens of people were injured as a result of the disasters. Details are not yet reported. A tropical cyclone, a storm with winds equivalent to a major Category 3 hurricane that formed in the Arabian Sea, made landfall this evening local time in Bangalore, India. It intensified slightly as it hit the western state with a maximum wind speed of 205 km per hour, 125 miles per hour, according to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. By Thursday morning, it had weakened from an extremely strong cyclonic storm to a severe cyclonic storm, according to the Indian Meteorological Department. Video showed torrential rain turning highways into rivers, while trees and power lines were blown down by high winds. According to government officials, the cyclone hit Bangalore and Mumbai hardest. The worst storm since 1961 hit Shanghai in China. The storm demolishes cars, tents fly through the air. Chinese authorities declared a red danger level. Because of the strong gusts of wind, trees fell on residential houses, cars and power lines. Local authorities are taking various measures to prevent possible negative consequences of the strike of the elements. Also for 2 days in Shanghai will be stopped the classes in kindergartens, primary and secondary schools. In addition, parks and tourist objects in the open air will not work in the city. Similar measures are taken in a number of other seaside cities in the region. Crazy hail and heavy rains with hurricane winds hit several municipalities in Mexico. As a result, streets and roads were flooded with water mixed with hail, the layer of which exceeded 50 centimeters. Hail covered the streets, cars were literally drifting in the strongest currents of floodwater. Gardens and homes in neighborhoods like Aguas Calientes, near the Madden Dam, were completely submerged when the 50 centimeters of hail began to melt, adding to the heaviest downpour in the area. The flooding caused congestion on major roads such as the Rio Grande and Zacatecas areas after the hailstorm. The Mexican government reported that about 5 to 10 homes were flooded as a result of the hailstorm, with water levels as high as 1 meter. Mexican civil defense authorities called for emergency precautions due to the destruction of roads. Oil spill in Peru killed 900 animals. An accident occurred during the unloading of a tanker in the Ventanilla area. More than 10,000 barrels of oil products ended up in the water. The prosecutor's office is investigating the damage to the environment, and authorities have charged Repsol with failing to comply with the terms of the accident response. The Office of the Ombudsman of Peru said that the liquidation work is not completed. The agency said the spill killed 900 animals, including species threatened with extinction. Specialists are calling on the authorities to take all measures to speed up the cleanup process. So far the company has cleaned only 21 out of 46 beaches, and it is still unknown how well the cleanup is done. The department stressed that data on affected animals and damage to beaches will be available until the cleanup and restoration of the affected areas is fully completed. The gates to hell have opened in Indonesia. The dangerous eruption of the Ibu volcano. There was an eruption of the volcano Ibu on the Indonesian island of Halmahera. The height of the ash column of Mount Ibu was observed up to 3,000 meters above the peak. Authorities urged people around Mount Ibu to stay away from the peak of the mountain. If it rains ash, masks and goggles should be used for protection. Ibu is an active volcano in Indonesia. It is located on the island of Halmahera in eastern Indonesia. Its altitude is 1,325 meters above sea level. It is located at the junction of the Pacific and Australian lithospheric plates. A wildfire in Arizona, USA, spreads extensively due to strong gusts of wind. Flames up to 30 meters high struck the Ponderosa area near Flagstaff with residential houses, dry grass and pine trees. Locals describe the fire as a «wall of fire» because of the height of the blaze. The fire subsequently moved from Flagstaff to Sunset Crater Volcano, advancing northeast. More than 2,000 people and over 1,000 animals live in the evacuation area, and hundreds of families have been evacuated. Route 89 between Flagstaff and northern Arizona was closed because of the fire. At this point, the fires in Arizona cover about 10,000 acres of land. Hundreds of residents were left without power, dozens of homes burned, and 250 buildings damaged. Arizona authorities have declared a state of emergency. Coconino County has submitted a request for federal assistance to fight the fires. Authorities have approved a grant to cover up to 75% of the costs. An earthquake occurred near the town of Paphos in the southwestern part of Cyprus in the evening on April 26, the Euro-Mediterranean Seismological Center reported. At 22:11 p.m. An underground shock with magnitude 4.8 has been registered 21 kilometers to the south of Paphos at a depth of 17 kilometers. Judging by this information, the earthquake occurred in the Mediterranean Sea. The earthquake was felt by residents of Paphos and some other settlements of the island. There is no information about the casualties and destruction. Earlier it was reported that there was an earthquake of magnitude 5 and 6 in the north of Japan. Talks were recorded at 17:16 in the Sea of Japan, southwest of Hokkaido Prefecture.